this video, I'm going to explain how to use the VS Code editor with the Salesforce Org. Okay, so for this one, we have to install mainly two components in the system. That is, one is the Salesforce CLI, and the other tool is, of course, Visual Studio Code Editor. Okay, so we will proceed with the Salesforce CLI and Visual VS Code Editor installation. Okay. The first item we are going to install is Salesforce CLI. So before that, to confirm whether Salesforce CLI is installed in your system, to check that one, you can do one thing like go to your command prompt, and in this command prompt, you can type sfdx. So if it is installed, you will get a installed version number. So in my system it is already installed, but if you have not installed in your system, you will see a message like sfdx is not found, right? So in that case you need to install the sfdx in your system. So in order to do that, go to google.com and search for download Salesforce CLI, and the first link, click on the first link, and you can choose your operating system and the version of Windows x86 or 64 based on your system, and download. And it's a plug click and install kind of API you will be getting, and on clicking you will get the Salesforce CLI will be able to install in your system. Okay. After installing the Salesforce CLI in your system, and now we need to install one more component, that is a Microsoft Visual Studio Code Editor. For that one, search in Google like Visual Studio, download Visual Studio Code, click on the first link, and depending on your operating system, download the package and install in your system. Okay. Um, so hope you have installed both Salesforce CLI and Visual Studio Code Editor, and you have installed the extension also, right? Now what we will do inside the Visual Studio Code, we will be creating a new project, and this project we will be synchronizing or integrating with the Salesforce org. Okay, so for that one, first we will be creating a new project. So for that one, either type Control Shift P in your keyboard, or go to this view menu and choose the command palette. So either you can use this option, view command palette, or you can press Control Shift P. Okay, so once you click this option, you need to create you need to choose one option, that is the sfdx create project with manifest. Okay, so choosing this one. So this will start by the process of creating a project, and from this option choose standard, and here you can add a project name. It can be anything, like I'm adding Salesforce first project. Okay, and choose a location. uh, yeah, I am adding inside this folder. Okay, so that particular project is saved inside the folder. So here it is asking, just confirm whether you are trust the authors of this files in this folder. Just press this yes, I trust. And So once you create a project and save it into your location, there will be multiple subfolders it will create by default. Okay, so here you can create, you can see like there is one force app main default. Inside this one, all your classes like LWC or triggers will be storing, right? So for the time being, in this one it is blank, just because we just created this project right now. No. Okay, so and I am integrating this particular project with one of the org which I have created. Okay, with one of the Salesforce org which I have created. Okay, so in order to integrate this particular project with my org, again, either take the control palette, that is either view or control palette, or in your keyboard control shift P, and from here choose the option authorize an org. So once you click this option, what will happen is like a browser will open in your system, and it will ask the Salesforce credential. Okay, so just click on this authorize an org, and what kind of Salesforce org you want to synchronize or authenticate, right? So either you can choose sandbox or production based on your org. Okay, so here you can give a sample name which you want to name your org. Okay, so I am giving like my first SFDZ org. Okay, so it can be anything, so just give it this name. So as soon as you give this name, the system will try to open the browser. Okay, so here you need to enter your Salesforce credential. Okay, so here I'm entering my Salesforce credential. Okay, so once you click the login, and if it is successful, it will show uh, a message like the authentication is successful. Okay, so see, the authentication is successfully showing. So at the same time, if you are going to your Visual Source Code, the same message you will see at the bottom right side of your Visual Source Code: authorize an org successfully, right? So let me open my org. I will show you what all contents are there. Okay, so this is the org I'm just authenticated. Okay, so here this is a just I just want to know, I just want to show you what all contents are there in my org. So this is my org. Just going to the class here. Okay, and you can see that there are three classes inside my org, right? My first class, my sample class, and update shipping country batch, right? So, and this is the org which we have integrated into our Salesforce, I mean VS Code editor, right? But as of now, there is no content, right? So we need to retrieve all the classes, all the components from our Salesforce org to the VS Code. So how we can do that? Like, so there is a folder, you can see manifest, right? So inside manifest there is a package.xml. So click on that one, So here on the right hand side, you can see an XML file, that is a package.xml file, and there are different type of components defined in this package.xml. This is a by default, the package.xml you will get like this. So the first type of the component is apex class, apex component, apex page, test class, and trigger, right? And so right click on this one. So one more time I'm showing you, there is in my VS Code the classes subfolder is empty, right? But in my org there are three classes. So in order to retrieve all these classes in this package file, if there is no apex class, just define one type called apex class, and the members star means all the components, I mean all the apex class we are going to retrieve, right? So after, if you are having this apex class in your package.xml, just click on this package.xml, right click on this package.xml, and there is an option called retrieve source in manifest from our org, right? So what this option will do is like, what all components are there in our org, like what all apex class are there, or what all components, apex pages and trigger, what all components are there according to this component type, it will retrieve all these component type into our visual code editor. Okay, so just click on this retrieve source in manifest from the org. So the retrieving option is started. So it is, as a result, you will see, right? So these are the classes we have retrieved from our org, right? So if you are expanding this classes folder, see all those classes from our org, the sfdx command just retrieved, right? So this is the retrieval process. So all the components, so if you want to retrieve an apex trigger, you can add here this particular line and just retrieve. And if you want to retrieve all the objects in your system, right? So you can type, so the component type for object, custom object. Okay, so if you want to, now I am going to retrieve all the custom objects from my org. So as of now there is, or this will retrieve only the custom object from my org. So let me check, is there any custom object I have defined? Okay, now there is no custom object, all these are, is a new org actually. So for the time being, if I want to retrieve the account object, right? So I'm just adding account, and again I'm choosing this option, retrieve. Okay, and see all the objects, I mean all the components related to the object, like the custom field, I mean the fields in the inside the account object I have retrieved. So if we are opening the objects subfolder, you can see the fields inside the account, list view inside the account object, right? Everything is received in our VS Code. So if you want to retrieve a case object instead of account, you can put case. Okay, so that is a retrieval process. Now what I will do is like, I will create a new apex class inside this VS Code, and the same apex class I will deploy to my org. Okay, so earlier we retrieved all the apex classes what all components we have written inside this package.xml we have retrieved. Now the reverse process, the deploying one Apex class from here to our org, right? So for that one, I'm going to create a new class here. Okay. So how we can do is like, after choosing this one, or you can do again Control Shift P. There is a command for sfdx create Apex class. Okay. So choose this option, give the name for the Apex class. So I'm giving my demo Apex class. Okay. So it is choosing to which option you want to save. Choose the default option only. Okay. So it has been defined. So inside your classes in the VS Code, you can see this particular class name, right? My demo Apex class. Just I am adding one system debug method here, as this is just for the sake of how to deploy one Apex class from your VS Code to Salesforce Org. Okay, just adding one debug statement here. Okay, now it is saved. Okay, so just confirm one more time, this particular demo class name, it is not present inside our class, right? So these are the only three Apex class in our org. Now here I have defined a new Apex class, and so now this class I want to deploy to our org, right? So again, you can go to the package.xml. Okay, and here uh, there is this component type Apex class which is already defined, right? The star means all the components inside our class object, right? Either you can choose this star symbol, or you can use this individual name. So if you are using individual name instead of this class, my demo Apex class. So if there is one more class is just add one more line, my demo Apex class, what is the next class name? Okay, suppose it is like my demo Apex class 2. Okay, so this way you can define the list of Apex classes which you want to deploy to the org. So for the time being, I'm using star only. Okay, so save this one and right click on this package.xml, and there is one option called deploy source in manifest to org, right? So choose this option, click on this one. So the operation is started, sfdx deploy this source to org. So and after, if it is successful, it will show one message like deploy this source to org successfully ran. So to confirm this one, you can go to your org. So this is our Apex class, right? So I'm just refreshing this one. See, you can see this class, my demo Apex class, which we have just deployed from our VS Code. So if you are going to the details of this thing, the same method, hello world. Okay, so by this way you can authenticate or integrate your VS Code with your Salesforce org. Okay, thanks.